Imagine a world where giants ruled. Not human giants, but colossal serpents, the likes of which you've never seen. Creatures are so massive their bodies could crush a car. So long they could coil around a city bus. This wasn't a scene from a monster movie. This was reality. 60 million years ago, a behemoth called the Titanoboa slithered through the jungles of South America, the undisputed king of the ancient world. But what if this legend never died? What if the Titanoboa defied extinction and continued to slither in the shadows, unseen, for millions of years? Titanoboa was a species of snake that crawled the earth about 58-60 million years ago. They belonged to the boa family and had an average length of 15 to 20 meters. They were the previous record holder for being the largest snake that ever crawled on the earth. This monster snake was more than double the size of the green anaconda, which currently holds the title of the world's biggest species of snake. So if Titanoboa boa never went extinct, they would have had this title. But the question is, will we be there to give this title? They would be at the top of the food chain today. A snake of this size won't have any trouble killing a fully grown tiger, hippopotamus, and other big animals. When Titanoboa was alive, its main diet consisted of fish and turtles. But everything in those days had a tendency to be colossal, so it didn't have to hunt too many to survive. Only a turtle, which weighed around 400 kilo, was enough to sustain him for at least one day. But today, everything is so tiny compared to 60 million years ago that it has to hunt restlessly every day to get a sufficient diet. And because of all this, maybe it would need more than 400 kilo of food to survive. So, if Titanoboa never went extinct, then many of the faunas that exist in today's world would have gone extinct because of their hunger and 45-foot belly. If Titanoboa never went extinct, the ecosystem in which we are living today would have been different. Humans might never have existed. If Titanoboa boa never went extinct, they might have munched on the earlier humans or monkeys from which we have evolved, which would have stopped the whole evolution process. Everything that we have done would have been undone, and the Earth could have been home to some other species right now. Some other species would have gone extinct. The main reason for the demise of these titans was the shortage of food. But they could feed on many other things, such as crocodiles, alligators, and many other animals, if they had to. These snakes were faster in water than on land, so their existence could change the whole river ecosystem. Many small animals would cease to exist, and because of this, the animals that were dependent on them would have lost their prey, and this consequence could follow them to the top of the food chain. A new species might have been born. Due to the harsh conditions created by these snakes, some animals have to evolve to survive. Others have to escape the lands they were originally living in and adapt to an entirely different landscape. The first thing that will change with their arrival today is that the anaconda franchise will have to be discontinued. Nobody wants to see the second largest species of snake-munching humans. Instead, a new player will take on this role, and he won't just be eating humans. Okay, enough of the jokes, but we are not making this assumption on baseless grounds. In the year 1959, a very esteemed colonel of the Belgian Air Force, Remy van Lierde, claimed that while flying through the wilderness during the war, he and two other passengers saw a colossal 50-foot snake. He also states that they flew over it 3 times to confirm this when this giant snake tried to attack their helicopter. So could it be possible that this giant snake of the Congo is the same snake we are talking about? There are chances of it being true, because one of the main reasons for their extinction was the decreasing temperature of the world. There are chances that some of these crawling monstrosities went into hibernation in these lands and managed to survive till now. Now, the temperature of the world is far hotter than it used to be, and the average temperature of the Congo is something between 29 and 31 degrees, which is best suited for a snake of this size. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below. We love hearing from you. Imagine a world teeming with life. A symphony of creatures unlike anything we see today. Now picture that same world, but with a glaring silence where a voice once boomed, a space empty where fins once flashed. We will start with the ivory-billed woodpecker. Ivory-billed woodpeckers were the largest woodpeckers in North America. They were about 18 to 20 inches long with a wingspan of 30 to 31 inches. They had long, pale bills that enabled them to strip bark from trees to access beetle larvae, their primary food source. Their bodies were black, with 2 white stripes down their necks. This bird species has faced significant controversy in terms of its extinction. Although condemned to extinction about 50 years ago, a video emerged in 2005 with reports of sightings of this bird in an Arkansas swamp forest. However, some suggested that the tape showed a similar-looking woodpecker, the pileated woodpecker, which is native to North America. In 2021, the US government moved to declare this species extinct. But according to new research that has yet to be peer-reviewed, the ivory-billed woodpecker may still be present in the US. Another lost animal is Spix's macaw. If you've seen the animated movie Rio, then you already have an idea of what this bird looks like. Blue, the main protagonist in the movie, is a Spix's macaw. This bird is also known as the little blue macaw, and its bright blue color makes it stand out in the wild. The Spix's macaw was found in Brazil. However, it's now extinct in the wild, according to the IUCN. That means the Spix's macaw is no longer in its natural habitat, but there are a little over 100 in captivity. Their extinction in the wild stems from practices like deforestation and the illegal pet trade. Captive breeding programs are looking to increase the population of this species and reintroduce them to their natural habitat. Next, we will discuss baiji. Sometimes called the Chinese river dolphin, is a pale blue-gray dolphin that grew up to 8 feet long. For about 20 million years, the Yangtze River in China was the baiji's home. You could identify this dolphin by its long, narrow beak and tiny eyes that sat in a higher position on its head. Baiji dolphins were also quiet and would actively avoid boats. The baiji holds the record as the first dolphin species to be driven into extinction by human activity. In 2006, scientists did a thorough survey and couldn't find evidence of the species. However, the baiji now has the conservation tag of being possibly extinct, according to the IUCN in 2017. The baiji's decline can be attributed to environmental damage to the Yangtze River due to dam construction, river pollution, overfishing, and boat traffic. Up next, we will talk about western black rhinoceros. The western black rhinoceros was the rarest of the black rhinoceros species. Contrary to its name, this rhino subspecies had a dark gray color. Like other rhino species, they were big and bulky. You could identify them by their 2 horns. They were distributed around grasslands in West and Central Africa, and they could move fast and change directions quickly. Although they had poor sights, they had heightened senses of hearing and smell. Unfortunately, these unique characteristics couldn't save them. The extinction of these rhinos was mainly a result of human intervention. Due to big profits from horn trading, they became victims. Poachers would kill these animals for their horns. People would then use these horns for decorations or in traditional Chinese medicine. In 2000, there were only 10 of these rhinos left. Finally, researchers declared them extinct in 2011. Lastly on our list is Pinta Island tortoise. As its name suggests, the Pinta Island tortoise is a subspecies of the Galapagos tortoise that's native to Ecuador's Pinta Island. The gentle giant loved eating greens and cactus pads, and he slept for up to 16 hours a day. Unfortunately, despite being able to survive for up to 6 months without food or water, the Pinta Island tortoise couldn't make it. The species became a source of fresh meat for fishermen and sailors, and by the end of the 19th century, it was hunted to the point of extinction. But then something magical happened. A lone male was discovered in 1971, named Lonesome George. Researchers had hope, but despite their best efforts to get him to reproduce with other subspecies of giant tortoises, he died of natural causes in 2012 at over 100 years old. With his death, the species was officially declared extinct. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about recently extinct animals, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Remember, every creature lost is a reminder of the importance of conservation efforts. Imagine Earth teeming with life far beyond what we know today. Creatures unlike anything you've ever seen roamed the land, soared through the skies, and swam in ancient oceans. But something went wrong. These magnificent beings, the rulers of their time, vanished. They became whispers in the fossil record, their stories etched in stone. We will start with dodo. The dodo was a flightless bird native to the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It is perhaps one of the most iconic examples of human-induced extinction. The dodo inhabited the dense forests and coastal regions of Mauritius. However, with human colonization and the introduction of invasive species like rats, pigs, and monkeys, much of the dodo's habitat was destroyed or altered. Today, the remaining forests of Mauritius are highly fragmented, making it difficult for any species, especially one as specialized as the dodo, to thrive. One of the primary reasons for the dodo's extinction was predation by introduced species. Rats, pigs, and monkeys brought to the island by sailors and settlers preyed upon dodo eggs and chicks, disrupting their reproductive success. Additionally, humans themselves hunted dodos for food, further contributing to their decline. The dodo evolved in isolation on Mauritius without natural predators, leading to a lack of fear or defensive behaviors. This trait, coupled with its flightlessness, made the dodo particularly vulnerable to human exploitation and introduced predators. In today's world, where human activity and invasive species are widespread, the dodo's lack of adaptability would likely lead to its swift decline if it were reintroduced. Next, we will talk about woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth was a species of prehistoric elephant that roamed the northern hemisphere during the Pleistocene epoch, which lasted from about 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago. These iconic creatures were well adapted to the cold, harsh climates of the last ice age, with their characteristic shaggy fur, large size, and long, curved tusks. While woolly mammoths were well adapted to cold environments, the dramatic shifts in climate that marked the transition from the Pleistocene to the Holocene epoch likely played a significant role in their extinction. As the Earth's climate warmed and the ice sheets retreated, the habitats that woolly mammoths depended on, such as the mammoth steppe, began to disappear. With the loss of their preferred habitats, woolly mammoths faced increasing competition for resources and dwindling populations, making it difficult for them to survive. Alongside climate change, the expansion of human populations and the resulting habitat destruction would have further contributed to the decline of woolly mammoth populations. As humans spread across the globe, they encroached upon the mammoths' habitats, fragmenting their populations and reducing the availability of food and suitable living areas. The loss of habitat would have made it increasingly challenging for woolly mammoths to find enough food to sustain themselves and their young, leading to population declines and eventual extinction. Human hunting likely played a significant role in the extinction of woolly mammoths. Archaeological evidence suggests that early human populations hunted mammoths for their meat, bones, and ivory, using them as a vital resource for survival. While woolly mammoths were large and powerful animals, they were not invulnerable to hunting pressure, especially as human populations grew and hunting technologies improved. The combination of habitat loss and overhunting would have placed unsustainable pressure on woolly mammoth populations, eventually driving them to extinction. Lastly, we will discuss great auk. The great auk was a remarkable bird that once inhabited the North Atlantic, primarily around rocky islands in colder waters. It was unique in its appearance, resembling a penguin in some ways but actually belonging to the family Alcidae, making it a closer relative to puffins and razorbills. The primary reason for the extinction of the great auk was relentless hunting by humans. These birds were heavily sought after for their down, feathers, and oil, which were valuable commodities in the 18th and 19th centuries. They were particularly easy targets due to their flightlessness and tendency to gather in large colonies during the breeding season. With the advent of commercial hunting and the increase in demand for their products, great auks were hunted to the point of extinction. The great auks were highly specialized birds, relying on specific habitats for breeding and foraging. They primarily nested on remote islands and rocky outcrops, where they were relatively safe from terrestrial predators. However, this limited distribution made them vulnerable to human exploitation. Even today, with increased conservation efforts, restoring their habitat to its original state would be challenging due to human encroachment and habitat degradation. Although great auks were adapted to life at sea, they were vulnerable to introduced predators, such as dogs and cats, which were often inadvertently brought to their breeding islands by humans. With the absence of effective predator control measures, these introduced species wreaked havoc on the great auk colonies, preying on eggs, chicks, and even adult birds. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below. We love hearing from you.